I'm Vanessa Keaton, and 15 years ago, I was breaking the law, hurting my family, and stuck in an addiction I thought I couldn't escape. Now, with over a decade of sobriety, my mission is to help anyone I meet find recovery and live recovery. For the next half hour, we are answering tough questions, having hard conversations.
We can overcome this terrible, terrible disease called addiction that's just robbed and ravaged our communities.
And showing you the inspirational stories of what a world away from substance abuse looks like.
I really feel like the sky is the limit.
Let's get started. Welcome to Inside ARC, presented by Addiction Recovery Care. Hi everyone, and welcome to Inside ARC, presented by Addiction Recovery Care. I'm Vanessa Keaton. This show is pretty simple, but can be life-changing. Inside ARC is a time for us to come together to have tough conversations about addiction and recovery, as well as offer hope to anyone out there that needs help. We all know someone in addiction, or maybe you yourself has been struggling for years. We want to help you. It's as simple as that. During the entire show, we have people waiting by the phone who can answer your questions and help you find a treatment solution for your addiction. All you have to do is call the number at the bottom of the screen. With that being said, let's get started. Oftentimes for the person in addiction, their fight continues after finding recovery. This usually means gaining education, finding a job, or starting a career. Amanda Grimm has done just that. She proves there is no such thing as too far gone.
I guess I never really thought about where I would be then. When I was in addiction and living in that hotel, I just thought about right now today. All I thought about was getting my next fix. I was 13 years old. My mom, she got a job in a bar, and that was pretty much where a turning point in my childhood and my life. As a teenager, I was definitely an alcoholic. I was addicted to alcohol. I drank every single day from the time I woke up. But then as I got into my later 20s, mid to later 20s, I started taking opiates and became addicted to those. Later on in my addiction, at the latest, the worst of it, I was actually an IV user. It definitely surprised everyone who knew me, probably even myself. I was against a lot of those things. I didn't even like to be around people who smoked cigarettes. That would bother me, to be around someone who smoked cigarettes. So when I started doing all those things myself, it was definitely a complete change. The local officials all knew me, judges and police, the people at the jail. Every time I would get into trouble, they never just threw me away or threw me to the side. They always tried to help me. There was a time when I was trying to be in sobriety, trying to be sober, and I had signed up to go to college. And the student advisor told me that even if I did finish that degree, it was not likely that anyone would hire me because I had felony convictions. And I pulled into that. I went back to that hotel, even though I had been in sobriety and not been living there. I knew there were drug dealers there. I pulled into that hotel, and I just consciously gave up at that moment. There's so many times in my life that the barriers that I faced in getting employment or education absolutely made me make a choice to relapse. My message to women or anyone struggling with addiction today would just be to reach out for help. I tried for so many years to do this on my own. I would go to meetings and I would hear their suggestions and people even tried to help me. As I said, people tried to help me, but I wouldn't accept that. I thought I was smarter than everybody else. But once I came to Addiction Recovery Care and they had so many ways of helping and just helped me with help get my felonies expunged off my record, helped me with job training, with certificates, just all the things. We can't do this alone. We need help. I needed help. And when I was able to finally surrender to that and be willing to take suggestions and take help, that's when my whole life turned around.
And we are so thankful to have Amanda Graham in the studio with us today. Amanda, welcome.
Hi.
All right, so we just watched your testimony, and I know I hadn't watched it in a while, and you probably haven't actually watched that in a while.
Yeah.
So how did that make you feel?
Yeah. I'm a crier. So I was sitting here trying not to cry. But it's beautiful. The way the team captured the way I felt and what I thought and the questions they asked, and it's just a great little snippet of a really long, drawn-out journey and story.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about that. So how long were you in active addiction?
Probably something like 22 years.
22 years.
From the time I was 13 till in my 30s. So.
Wow. Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah, it is a long time, but all those years in addiction and all the heartaches that occur, because I mean, I know, I understand that some heartaches and insecurities and sadness may have led me into addiction, but yet the heartaches and the trauma that I experienced in addiction
Keep you there.
Yes, they do keep you there. You're absolutely right.
Yes. That's the cycle, the vicious cycle.
It is, yeah, because it just continues to hurt, and then
Yes.
the more you hurt, then you hurt other people, and it is.
You build up all that shame and guilt. Yes.
Oh my gosh, the shame and guilt will keep you stuck.
Yes.
Yes. So, I know that you mentioned in your story you'd attempted sobriety multiple times
Yes.
throughout your addiction, and so tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what were some of the motivators for you to want to get sober?
I don't know if it's whether I wanted to, but it was always legal issues that pushed me into. That's why when I talk to people that are sinners and stuff, and they say, "I'm here because the judge made me," that's okay.
Yes.
It's okay if you're here because the judge made you, or whatever reason you're here, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
So I had legal issues. I get in trouble, I'd get some charges, and the court system would put me in whatever program.
Yeah.
And as I said in my video, they did try to help me. I didn't see it that way at the time.
Sure.
I did not like those cops and judges. After I got sober, I realized that they were trying to help me, and they just didn't really have the resources or the knowledge to do it.
Absolutely. No, I completely understand. I mean, if it hadn't been for the court system, I would have never sought treatment either. So, I mean, I fully understand, and I did not like them when I went. But I'm so grateful for them today because you're right. I mean, those moments, that's what changes our lives sometimes. That's that's the motivator that we need in order to be able to have those life transformations. So, you mentioned in your video, which absolutely breaks my heart, and I know that we see it so often, that just the fact that you had the criminal record, going back to school and them telling you that you can get this degree, but you're probably never going to get hired. If someone is in that situation, what advice would you give to them today?
That is tough. And so I was just thinking or talking with someone the other day about what it felt like to walk into jobs to apply for jobs. And especially living in a small town and people know you. And in my situation, I was like, my face had just been on the Jailed magazine or something. That's probably the lowest I've ever felt in some of those situations. Yeah. Being told that I can't get a job, being told that I can't go to school. Because what are you going to do?
Right.
If you can't work or further your education, what hope is there? There is no hope.
Right.
It's hopeless.
Yes.
So the advice I would give to someone is don't listen to that.
Yeah.
Yes, you can work. Yes, you can go to school. Yes, your whole life can change. It doesn't matter where you are. God can change that. And there are people out here and resources out here to help you change that.
Yes.
So don't listen to that. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. And I know since you have began your recovery journey, and since I began my recovery journey, there are so many more resources. And there's the Fair Chance Academy through the Chamber here in Kentucky, and there all kinds of different employers are starting to see, hey, we need to look over the record that someone has and give them a chance.
Yeah, it's so different now than it was. And you got to think, how many years ago was it? Almost 20 years. I'm going to tell my age. Almost 20 years when I started to try to get sober. And it is, I love seeing how different it is. I love seeing all the, the medicated assisted treatment, just the stigma is so much better. So much better.
Yeah, it is.
Especially in Kentucky.
Absolutely. I know. And Kentucky is leading the way.
What a place to be.
I know. You're right.
As
I
a
love
time
it.
as this. Yes.
That is so true. And I'm a true believer, and I do not care what method you choose to find your recovery. Just do it.
Yes.
Because it's life or death.
Yes.
And I'm so glad, like you said, that some of that stigma is starting to be released from different methods to recovery, because, oh my gosh, it would keep people bound in shame even when they were trying to seek recovery if they were on things like medication-assisted treatment. And so, I'm very, very, very grateful for that.
Yes.
So I know it's been just a little while since you actually filmed your testimony. So do you want to get us caught up to where you're at in your life today? Some new things that may have occurred, or where you're at in your career?
Actually, I hadn't thought about it, so you said that. But so since that video, I've completed a bachelor degree in hospitality management with Sullivan University.
Gosh. Yay!
Yes.
That is wonderful.
Especially seeing, that we're talking about, someone told me that I wouldn't be able to have a job, and I wouldn't be able to do that. So, I did that, and then I've also become. They've given me much more responsibility. I'm a manager of a couple different businesses, 3 different businesses right now.
Wow.
So, 3 Sisters, Masterpiece Kitchen, and Masterpiece Cafe.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a lot, but that's wonderful.
Oh, I can't believe they trust me at that. It humbles me. It makes me so grateful that they trust me.
Yeah.
And this is my hometown.
Yeah.
And this little street that used to be, just like kind of trashed out, and businesses kind of come and go because they fail and they can't make it, and now it's thriving, and I get to be a part of it. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and I completely agree. I love going downtown here in Louisa and seeing the life that's back downtown.
Yes.
And the businesses that you are managing are a huge part of the life being back in our local town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. So is there anything else that you want to share with the audience today? Anything else about your story, or what good is happening in your life today?
I suppose the thing that comes to mind is, because we were talking about the different methods of treatment, that's the thing that comes to mind when you ask me if there's anything that I would share. I always want to advocate for the different methods because they worked for me.
Yeah.
And everybody's different. Everyone's traumas are different. Everyone's addiction is different, even though it's the same, but it's different for them. And so, and also even in the recovery community and people who are in recovery, to look at other people and think they're not doing it right, or there's some way that you should do it. So I would just say, love people where they're at right now, give them grace, and realize that just because they're not where you are doesn't mean they're not going forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that, Amanda. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we'll be right back.
We looked for months to figure out where we wanted to be. It's so nice to be right here at home. We've worked with Dr. Jude and Amanda, and they'll talk to us, and they'll check on the boys after visits. It's like they can connect with kids, and they can get on kids' levels, and it's just something that you don't get with kids all the time, and I feel like they really do listen and care. And we plan on staying here with them. Hopefully they can follow them through. This is a gym in Louisa.
Torchlight Studio is your home for Appalachian music, from bluegrass to folk, gospel, and even rock and roll. Our team has spent most of their lives bringing these sounds to not just local airwaves, but airwaves across the country. Our team includes Grammy winners with decades of experience.
But we have top flight equipment, we have good knowledge. I mean, we know what to do here, so we can do anything that's needed.
Head on over to torchlightstudio.org to schedule a studio session or learn more.
Second Chance Auto is a full-service garage that prides itself in offering the highest quality of automotive repair and customer service. We provide tires and wheels, oil changes, tune-ups, and more while utilizing state-of-the-art equipment. At Second Chance Auto, we're changing lives while changing tires.
The historic Garden Theater is a lively gathering place for music, theater, and much more. Home to the Mountain Movers Theater Company, the theater has a rich history dating back to 1921. Repaired and refurbished in 2019, the Garden Theater is a beautiful reminder of Louisa's rich history and a space showcasing the area's bright future.
You are watching Inside ARC, presented by Addiction Recovery Care. If you have questions about addiction treatment, don't hesitate to call us now.
We see transformation each and every day here at Addiction Recovery Care. Now it's time to meet one young lady that said no more to a life in addiction and yes to building her life back with her kids. Take a look.
I know today without a doubt that I'm here for a purpose. You know, I went from being an 8 and 9 time convicted felon to someone with a career of helping others. For the better part of 20 years, I used. I started using at 12. By the time I was 15, I was living in an apartment by myself and selling meth. You know, I was known for robbing and stealing and fighting and selling drugs, and I was just full of anger. I was angry at the world, and I didn't really know why. I've been through maybe 8 or 9 different treatment facilities, if not more. But the one thing that changed with ARC was that's where I found God. I began to realize that God didn't do all those things to me. I did those things to me, and God kept me alive through it. You know, I was 35 before I ever gave faith a chance. God kept me alive for a reason. Like, I'm sitting here today because maybe part of my purpose is to help save someone else from the exact same things that I once went through. I hated looking people in the eyes, and today, like, I can hold my head high and look at somebody and be like, hey, you know what? This is what I went through. This is what happened to me. But I survived. Like, I came through it a stronger and better person. And if I can help just one person, you know, it's all worth it.
Come join us at Masterpiece Cafe. We are conveniently located in downtown Louisa and are your one-stop shop for specialty coffee drinks and made-from-scratch baked goods. Comfortable seating inside that is surrounded by local art from the tri-state region or outside on our back deck. Or grab your order to go.
Three Sisters Events, Rentals, and Designs is your one-stop shop for your event needs. When you book with us, we can get you the space, the supplies, and all the help you need coordinating your event. Send us your inspiration photos and let us create designs specific to you. Next up, set up a free consultation with us and our team will develop a plan and estimate to meet your budget. If you have an upcoming event, head on over to our website at threesistersevents.com to learn more. At Masterpiece Kitchen, we offer catering services and baked goods. Our renowned team is well known locally for their quality service and amazing abilities. At Masterpiece Kitchen, we're passionate about providing top-of-the-line catering services to fit your needs. Masterpiece Kitchen is also working towards being accredited to offer a degree in culinary arts. Check out Masterpiece Kitchen in Louisa and give us a call at 606-225-8675.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take one hand and put it on his forehead, the other hand under his neck, and tilt his head back, okay?
Yeah.
That's going to open up his area, help him breathe a little bit better.
Yeah, bend his neck back. Okay.
Just tilt his head back gently, okay?
Okay.
Keep him in that position and keep checking his breathing for me. If anything changes, you tell me immediately, okay? I've already got everybody on the way. They're coming as quickly as they can.
Okay.
I'm going to stay on the phone with you until they get there.
When I heard of my friends overdosing, it's insane to me to think of it now, but the first thought I usually had was, I need to find some of that. Whatever it was that killed them, I need to find some of that. The first time I overdosed was about 12 hours after my father passed away.
I've overdosed 5 or 6 times. I was out there using, I didn't know that there was, hope or anything like that for someone that had just overdosed or a way out. I thought that was my way out.
I know 4 or 5 times for sure that Narcan was used to bring me back.
My name is Desiree Dryden. I'm a registered nurse with Addiction Recovery Care. From a clinical perspective, when you overdose, at first you'll get the normal feelings like you would have. Some clients refer to it as nodding off, a warm fuzzy feeling, but your breathing slows down. And that's what causes death, is your lack of oxygen.
My name is Neil Oliver, and I am the Clark County Deputy Coroner. One of the hardest jobs that we have as a coroner and deputy coroner is those notifications. That's a parent's worst nightmare, to get that phone call or as we do it, get that knock on the door at 1:30, 2:30 in the morning and have to sit there and tell them that their loved one, that their child has passed away due to a drug overdose.
Today, it's hard pressed to find heroin. It's all this fentanyl, and when it comes to that stuff, the next one you take might very well be your last.
It's sad to say, but I read obituaries in my hometown every day, half-heartedly expecting them to be in that obituary. So yeah, I would say they are a ticking time bomb. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen.
Overdose Awareness Day is very important for people to acknowledge and understand, because the rates of overdose is just climbing everywhere across America. And there's so many options available.
I don't ever think anybody's ever too far gone. I think that we've all got a second, third, fifth, 100th chance.
It's just not just another junkie that has shot up and died. They are a human being as well. They are someone's son, daughter, father, mother, brother, sister. And we need to consider that.
Makes me think of when I was in addiction and the times that I overdosed. Makes me think of the friends that I've lost to overdose. And it makes me think of the addict that's still out there suffering that could overdose at any moment.
That there is a way out, that we bring awareness to this. It's a disease, and that there's other people that struggled with it. You're not alone.
I want to spread awareness as much as I can to the people, first and foremost to the people that I used to run around, that if I can do it, anybody can do it. And then past that, anybody struggling with addiction, I want them to know that they can change their lives if they just commit a small part of it.
Now it's time where we answer some of your questions about addiction and recovery. This week's question is, does Addiction Recovery Care offer any educational programs while in treatment? We do. Addiction Recovery Care partners with several different educational institutions to help clients earn their GED. One of our most unique partnerships is with the Millard College right here in Louisa, Kentucky. There, a client can take college courses and receive certificates toward a career that they hope to pursue. We also offer many different training programs like culinary arts, welding, carpentry, peer support specialists, and the list goes on and on. That's all for this episode of Inside ARC. If you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out. Until next time.
What do we believe about people in addiction? We believe that nobody is too far gone. We believe recovery doesn't just mean finding life away from addiction. Recovery also means helping them get back up. At Addiction Recovery Care, those with substance use disorders have access to the medical treatment they need to get better. Because we believe coming to treatment is only temporary, and home is where you belong.
My son's name is Casey. He died from an overdose to heroin at the age of 23. When we were in crisis with Casey, we were not allowed to do anything to intervene on his disease.
Charlotte Wethington decided to turn her pain into purpose. Casey's Law gives you, the family or friend of someone in addiction, the ability to help your loved one when they can't help themselves, by ultimately sending them to treatment. For assistance with the Casey's Law process, call the number on your screen now. What if accessing addiction treatment wasn't that complicated? Because at Addiction Recovery Care, it isn't. We have figured out the solution. No matter where you are located, we can help. Because we believe quality addiction treatment should be accessible to everyone, no matter the location and no matter the time of day. Call now. Let's get this journey started.
Hey, so what's up? I'm Matt Robinson, and I've been in I was active addiction for over 20 years, and this is 3 things I want to say to you if you're in active addiction is 1, you really can't do this alone. 2, there really is a better way to live, and it's available. And 3, man, if you could have figured this out and beat it, you already would have.